Do what it do. We are live. A little bit later than I anticipated, but here I am. It's Ray Ray, y'all. Out on the porch, sitting on the dock by the bay. I'm gonna try not to shake this camera as much tonight. I think some of the neighborhood kids out here trying to feed the fishies. But tonight, we're gonna talk a little bit about pressure. Pressure, we all feel it. I think there's an old saying in Texas. I don't know if it was Texas, maybe it was Tennessee, but let me stop playing. But no, pressure, man. They say pressure can bust pipes, or pressure can create diamonds. What do you let the pressure do to you? We all face it. You dig? So that's what we're talking about tonight. See if we get a few people chiming in here on the Grayscale podcast. I'm one half of the Grayscale, Ray. Shout out to my brother Tim as always. Oh, I think my cousin might join me tonight. We'll see if he hop up on this thing. Hey, what's up, girls? They on their scooters and off. I guess they not racing. Well, it's 8 o'clock. Whether y'all here with me or not, you can always go back and watch it. But this is the Grayscale podcast. I'm half of the Grayscale, Ray. Again, shout out to my brother Tim. Tonight I just wanted to come on here and talk to y'all a little bit about pressure, man. We all deal with it. Pressure comes in many forms, whether it's peer pressure, pressure to perform at work, pressure to do what you have to do in your relationships, if you're in relationships, parenting pressure, to be the best parent that you can be, and to continuously answer the demands of your children. For all the folks out there with kids, know how demanding kids could be, and that's pressure. So what is pressure for you, and how do you deal with it? Personally, I'll speak on pressure from my standpoint, and having the pressure to continue to improve and be better. Not better than anybody else, but be better than the circumstances that I hail from. And myself, and I'm sure a lot of you out there, tend to put a lot of pressure on yourself to do a lot. Whether it's at work, whether you're an entrepreneur working for a company, like we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to those that want to achieve, to perform at a high level. And pressure can, depending on how you let it weigh on you, pressure turns into stress, and that stress could really do a number on your health and your mental health, your physical health. So it's really important to understand what pressure looks like, what pressure feels like, and how to deal with that pressure. I didn't deal with pressure, very well early on, especially in the work life. I let a lot of things get to me personally. A lot of times of just wanting to, duck out and do something else. And, that tied into also parenting pressure, because obviously having kids and having a family to provide for, you can't just duck out and run, although some people do, because the pressure gets too heavy for them. I mean, there's a long list of people whose fathers walked out, mothers walked out because of pressure. Pressure just got too heavy on them. You feel like you're suffocating, and you just have to come from up under that and move on. It's like being 1,000 feet under the ocean water, and obviously you can't sustain that type of pressure. You got to come back to the surface and swim somewhere else where you feel like it's safer. It takes a really strong person or strong people to be able to take a certain level of pressure. And really, the amount of pressure that you can take, along with the type of, the level of problems you can solve, but the amount of pressure you can take and still keep your sanity, still keep true to yourself, the greater and more success you will have in life, regardless of what it is you do in life. and it's not even about success, but the more fulfilling life that you will have, the more that you're able to withstand and take the pressure and keep on ticking and not let that distort who you truly are and who you truly want to be, the better quality of life you will have. And you got to teach yourself some tricks. We all have our triggers or our ticking points. We have to be bigger than those. So we have to teach ourselves little tricks or give ourselves little sayings to allow us to center back when we feel like the pressure is mounting too hard, or even those thoughts. And I always think about being in juvenile, or being in juvie, and growing up, part of my life in the projects and going from there, and then being in juvie. And when I feel like the pressure seems to I'm not running away from, but what I'm trying to achieve, and what I'm trying to accomplish, and show others that it's possible, in terms of rehabilitation, in terms of coming from one place and elevating to another. So anytime I feel like the pressure's getting too hard or too much personally, I think it can't be started. Look where you at, and keep in mind where you trying to go. So you have to have somewhere where you can dig deep down and remind yourself when the pressure starts to mount too much of what it is you're pushing up against. And that'll help you get that pressure up off you, like bench pressing. I mean, you got to think about it like you lifting that weight right up off you, right up off your chest, or your shoulders, or if you're a woman, I also wanted to touch on, it's very important to discover and find yourself in a faith-based self, to stay true to who you are, because we all have pressures from those that are around us, especially when you entangle with people that are consistently doing the wrong things, or not making the right decisions, I should say, and not having any sort of standard or integrity. When you do decide that you want to do the right things, or pursue the right things, like that peer pressure starts to set in, and that starts to weigh on your decision making. So you just have to be really true to yourself and recognize the angles that this pressure is coming from, and not let it get to you too much. Like, that pressure bust, you want that pressure to allow you to become a diamond. And you just have to be really mentally strong out here. I mean, there's so many challenges that we face. I was just talking to a friend who separated from his girl, and she wants to do things, and she continued to succumb to the pressure of wanting to be her own person, of being out here partying and doing, really wanting to grow up and take care of the things that she needs to take care of in the household with her family. And again, that's just another form of peer pressure, and really just a lack of it all goes hand in hand. But again, I just feel like you have to be grounded, which I'm kind of getting all over the place with this pressure talk. I just thought about it today, and actually early, and was just like, man, it's a lot of weight on people out here. I mean, heavy, especially in the working world, like where you have to have this pressure to maintain a certain status, or to be maybe something your parents wanted you to be. Or I mean, we just have to get into a center of ourselves, and the easiest way to handle pressure is to be yourself, and those pressures get a lot lighter, I promise you. Going through every day, the more I just say, you know what, it's best to just be honest Donnie, honest Ray, honestly who I want to be. And it's not about, saying what you want to say at every given moment, but, sticking true to your values, sticking true to what you truly believe in. It's people walking up to you and around you every day. You got to look at them like they spirits, just trying to throw you off your track. And every single moment, not every single moment, but damn near, every single moment, every day, you're under pressure to hold true to yourself, to stick to your standards, to stick to your morals. Whether you're talking to this person or that person, one person comes along and you say one thing to them, next person comes along, you say another thing to them, and it doesn't line up with who you truly are. And the better you can handle sticking to the script of who you are, no matter who you're addressing, the easier the load becomes. Because you don't have to live a lie, you don't have to be secretive, sneaky, you don't have to say one thing to one party, another thing to another party, and it just starts to ease up off of you because you true to yourself, and regardless of what others are doing around you, it doesn't matter. Like, that pressure comes up off of your shoulders in terms of have something to hide or slipped up on your morals and integrity. So again, I was a little bit all over the place with this one tonight. I'm not gonna stay on here too long because I missed my gym session this morning, so I'm about to go try to knock that out and get some pressure up off of me, lift that thing up off me. But I'll just end with saying, stick to who you on a daily basis is stay blessed, no stress. Know we're gonna have some, but do your best to stay blessed, less stress, and don't let the pressure bust your pipe but turn you into a diamond. I'm Ray from the Grayscale Podcast. Going dark.